Hey everybody, I'm Captain Tommy Scoville, and you are on the lifeboat. And the first thing I see is my daughter has the best legs and butt from all her meltdowns her whole childhood. It's a great icebreaker. Well, thank you all for tuning in at an odd hour here on the lifeboat. Chili Mats, are good to see you, bud. So I took off for a couple of days, and good God, the speculation. So here's what it comes down to, people. I've had a rugged couple of months with the move and all of the stressors that came along with that, and I had a meltdown. I mean, I don't know. You could call it I would call it a meltdown. You could call it a nervous breakdown. I guess you could call it whatever you want. I lost it. I even trashed my own house, which is never a really good idea. But I threw some things around and broke some stuff and acted all in all like a jackwagon. But I did what I would advise all of you to do in the same situation, and I went and sought professional help, and went and spoke to some people that were able to get me calmed down. There's a lot in my life that I share with you people, an incredible amount of my life that I share with you people. It's funny. Tampa B Man says, "At least you're clean." You know, there was a point at which I was struggling to get a place that was going to take me in, and I was planning on driving to the police station and having myself put. And you can do this, by the way. You can drive to a police station and say, "I believe that I am in danger of harming myself." You know, if you say I'm a drug addict and I think I'm going to use, they will happily incarcerate you for 72 hours. You can check yourself in, so to speak, and people do it. And I promise you, if the last option didn't work, that's probably where I was going to go. I was given a lot of Valium to knock me out and calm me down so that we could have a conversation after that. After they were able to get me back down to a kind of a baseline. And as I said, there's a share with you people. There's a ton of my life that I share with you. I think that you'd be hard pressed to find too many YouTubers that share more of what goes on in their life, and it kind of has to be that way because of the subject matter, right? I mean, when we talk about heavy things, I'm asking people to to peel the onion. So I kind of got to peel the onion myself, and sometimes it's difficult because I do it sitting in front of a camera as opposed to sitting on the other side of the camera. And Buddha was that I thought I dealt with and I hadn't. And then I'll be really honest with you, believe it or not, people, occasionally I develop love interests in my life. I don't talk about them often on the boat. Euphemistically, they're always referred to as Linda, right? The girl who I may or may not be talking to at any given time in my life. But the person that I was fairly convinced I was really building a fairly solid relationship with has also left my life, and all of these things kind of happened at the same time, and I had a meltdown, a freaking meltdown, which is not. I don't think it's a huge shock, honestly. My coping skills are not beautifully developed. I come here and I talk about a bag of tricks because I'm developing my bag of tricks the same way that everybody else here is developing their bag of tricks. You guys are probably doing a better job at it than I am. The one thing I will say is that I will put my sobriety in front of all else. I was quite willing to go and sleep at the old county jail if that's what it took. I was not going to end up in some alley by Fent. That was really what that was the goal. More than anything else, the goal was to get through that period of time without using. And look, I'll be honest, I don't have a problem with alcohol. That's never been my substance of choice. But when you find yourself thinking to yourself, you know what, I could drink a fifth. I could probably just go and pound down a fifth. Or I don't have a problem with, weed was never my drug of choice, but I'm driving by dispensaries going, man, and maybe if I just went and bought 3 or 4 joints and smoked them. But the mindset of what I need to do is drug myself so that I can get through this shit is the mindset that has landed me in prison and has turned me into the person that I was prior to you guys meeting me. And that mindset, I mean, yeah, that'll get you through the day. It probably would have worked, right? Either of those probably would have worked. But those are band-aids, right? And what you really need to do is come to grips with whatever's bumming you the hell out. And that requires interaction. And I'll tell you something, a huge shout out to Alan Ballantyne, who very often is stuck being, I recommend people have 5 individuals that they can call at any given time. And I have a group of 5 that I can call. But sadly, Alan Ballantyne is usually 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5, right? Alan takes the brunt of what I'm going through. And Alan will also take it when I'm in the middle of it. When I'm throwing things and screaming. He's just to have someone in your life like that is really a beautiful thing. And the fact that the cat's on the other side of the planet means that obviously there are times I text and say, hey bro, can you call me? And I don't always flip to the fact that it's the following day and in the middle of the night. But Alan is just Alan's the kind of friend that you want to have if you're trying to stay sober. If you want a sobriety buddy, Alan is the kind of person that everybody should have 5 of, or God bless you, at least 1 of. But this is what it is, right? This is what we go through. And I'll be honest, in about 2.5 years, this is my second meltdown. The first was not nearly this epic. This was ugly. This got frightening. For me, it did. I mean, I was acting in ways that I hadn't acted in a very long time. I was hearing sounds come out of me that I haven't heard in a long time. Sort of guttural, screaming kind of. I had a nervous breakdown, people. I was screaming. I was pissed. I was throwing things. I had I don't know how else to describe it. And you know what? I'm coming here to talk about it because I don't want people to think that these kind of things are something that we all need to be ashamed about. Absolutely, I will. We talk about alcohol all the time in here, so absolutely I will. The reason we say that this is the lifeboat is because we really all are in the same boat. And regardless of whether you're snorting cocaine, sticking a needle in your arm, or going to a bar and drinking, what causes that to happen and what the cure for it, or the treatment for it, I should say, is the same from one to the next. It doesn't matter. So what happens is you get a malfunctioning reward center in the brain that tells that individual that drinking is as important as raising a child. I'm making this very simplistic, but that is actually what happens. So absolutely, if they're here, there's 1,300 hours of video here, and I would say that probably 20% of it is all about booze. But within the next 2 shows, I will do a show all about alcohol. Okay, so if we can get them here in the next 2, I will do a show about that. I promise. SBTV Tattoo Warrior Barb says, let's see if I can get in close because I'm blind. Do you recognize that every time you share something like this, you save a life? People feel safe because they know they're not the only one. You're an angel to send to us. Thank you. That's a really beautiful thing to say, Barb. I appreciate that. I do. I did feel like it was probably something that I should come and talk about because if you find yourself throwing things against the wall, you probably need to go somewhere and talk to a professional. I do. Like, I don't know where the world you live in. The world I live in, I have robbed banks. I have done really, really stupid things, and I don't want to get so far off the rails that I start doing dope. If I start doing dope, then it's all over. And that certainly was the behavior. That was my drug addict behavior. I mean, there was no drug involved, but that's certainly the kind of crap that I did when I was strung out. So it got really scary for me. So I needed to get looked at. Tampa B says, "You're one of us. We understand and we're here for you." Thank you, Tampa B. Tampa B is a beautiful soul. I want you to know that. I am very often lurking in other places and reading comments, and Tampa B is just really a beautiful soul. Lord Kiss Freak, looking good in green since day one. And I just mean day one. I mean, since the very first day that there was a captain, or before there was a captain, Tommy Scoville, and it was just the Tommy Scoville show. Freak has been here forever. You robbed banks? What? Yes, I did. I robbed a bunch of them, which is what I went to prison for the second time. Yeah, there was a little of that went on. But I wanted to come on, people. I wanted to come on and give you an idea of what's going on. I wasn't at my best to be sure, and I yelled at people that I care about a lot, and that's another thing that I'm not particularly proud of. If all I was doing was trashing my own home, well, you know what? It's not the smartest thing in the world to do, but it's your home and not with it. But that's really not how it went down. Did you have a special name like something bandit? You mean like the gentleman bank robber or something like that? I'm sure there was a name. Yeah. I'm sure that there was a name. Yeah, I'm sure that there was. Thanks, V. You know what, V, you've been a sister from day one. You really have. And I appreciate that. This is you know what? I'm honestly, I was talking to my counselor, not the psychiatrist, but the psychologist, and we were having a conversation, and I was embarrassed, because of, like I said, I screamed at people that I love, and I acted like an ass, and I was just super, super embarrassed about the whole thing. And I said, I can't believe this has happened. Sorry, but I dropped the SIM card. And her response was, I can't believe this took this long to happen. No, I did not break Squirrel, but I'm not going to lie to you. After I had my meltdown, I don't think Squirrel came out for probably 8 hours or so. Like, I really had a meltdown. Idira, I love that. And that is what we're doing here, right? It's what we're doing here every day. It was embarrassing. I'm so glad that my life isn't filmed. I mean, this was just the person that I used to be. I was screaming and losing it, and it was really, really ugly. And I'm glad that it's over. You didn't bother me in the slightest. Nobody here did. You guys were fantastic. The people that did reach out were very, very sweet, and Russ is a great example. Russ, reached out and just said, "Hey man, love you. I'm here for you. Not trying to bother you. If you want to reach out, I'm here." But it was, and almost everyone was that way. It's a great group of people here. I feel very, very connected to, and we're going to get it fired back up today. Well, thank you, Christy. Yeah, that's kind of how it went down, honestly. Squirrel is okay. Yeah, Squirrel's 100% okay. Honestly, people, I would harm myself before I would harm Squirrel. I'm not much for self-harm, but I promise you I would never do anything that was going to harm Squirrel. That zipper. That's my girl. You know what I mean? Squirrel's my favorite lady on planet Earth. I can say that without any doubt. Squirrel. We'll see if she's up. This time of day, Squirrel likes to get to the top of this closet that has a very, very expensive comforter in it, and she's kind of hollowed out the U shape into it. And cats are super predictable. Squirrel's great. If you tell me what time of day it is, I'll tell you exactly where that cat is. She has a sleep routine. And now that it's getting chilly, she kind of follows the sun as well. as the sun starts coming through different windows, she gets herself positioned so that as the sun moves around the house, she's ready to be bathed in it. She's an amazing animal who brings me in it. So I'm gonna be back on the air. I don't think tonight is going to be a 5 o'clock show. It might be earlier or it might be later. Zach D, good to see you. Um, you know what, Mix? Bro, not only are you not alone, man. Um, not only are you not alone, but yeah, I just did it. I mean, I just did it. I'm telling you about it. I melted down. You want the whole details so you really feel it? It started with I started to get my pulse racing, and the next thing that I knew, I started to just sort of it was like a downhill run. A lot of things that I had been swallowing for a long time, and a lot of things that I had been bottling up, all started to come out, and I could feel it. Instead of doing something healthy, like everything I tell you, like getting outside, getting away from the situation, changing the four walls that I'm looking at, all of those things, I didn't do that. I stayed inside. I got angrier and I got angrier, and then I picked up something and I threw it against the wall of my the room I was in, and that just progressed to screaming and all kinds of things that are so counterproductive to getting anything done in life. And the incredible thing is that the person that the people that really I was upset with, none of them were there. I'm not taking this out on anybody that had anything to do with this. I'm taking it out on the people that I love and the people who are close enough to see me having a meltdown. I mean, it's not their fault, but it's certainly, what I was doing, and it's embarrassing. It really is, and I'm here to talk about it because everybody goes through this, right? And because of who I am in my life, I didn't have to go down and talk to a professional. I could have just bottled it up. I could have put it back away, right? See what happens. But I know where that ends, and that ends in me, in some really seedy part of town, rolling up to somebody and going, "I got $100, dude. Get me $100 worth of dope, and you can keep 50 of it." That's how that ends every single time, and it wasn't going to end like that this time. So I shut down the show for a few days, and I went and I sought professional care, and if that means whatever that means, whatever form that means, if that means they got to take you off the street for a day or two, whatever. If it means they got to take you off the street for a week or a month or whatever it takes, what's more important than staying sober? What's more important than staying sober? What's more important than not going back to being a drug addict? I don't know about you, but there's not much in my life. I mean, everything else hinges on it. No, I yelled at everybody, Barb. I yelled at everybody. Tampa. Oh, I thought you were talking to me, Tampa Babe. No, you are definitely a babe. I would not have called you a dude. I think I even know your name, although I won't say it out loud. Oh, Captain, my Captain. I love that, don't you? I think we have a T-shirt now. I think we got a T-shirt in the merch store that says "Captain, my Captain." Yeah, good call. Don't punch things that are glass. You know what, Russ? The number of people who made that exact kind of thing, people who said, if you can come out and see me, or I'll come out to see you, or I'll take care of this, or I'll take care of that. The only person that I reached out to at all was Alan Valentine. And of course I didn't hate you, Quack Girl. I don't hate anybody here. I don't. Um, the people who are having a really good time making videos about the fact that I'm struggling, I don't hate them. For real, people. You want the greatest secret in life, huh? For real? The one thing that no matter how much they from you, they can strip away your clothing, they can get you naked, they can make you bend over, spread them and cough. They can take away every single thing you got. The only thing that you can control is whether or not you choose to hate the people that are doing the things to you that they're doing. And I assure you, whether you believe it or not, that they gain power when you hate them. And I'm not trying to sound like like Star Wars or anything else. But I assure you that if you choose not to hate them, if you choose not to allow any of that to get to you, honestly, it does nothing for them. Does nothing for them. Knock yourself the freak out. Make videos all day. Do what you do. I'm concerned about you guys. I really am. It's why I'm here. In a perfect world, maybe I take a couple of more days, but I'm very concerned about the crew of the lifeboat. This is what we do. We get together and we talk, and I don't want to. I don't want that shut down. We're going to be easing back into our normal schedule this evening. I have somewhere that I'm going to have to be right around the time that I would be doing the normal show, and the reason for that, I'm not going on a date. I'm going somewhere for my mental health. Um, but I will be back tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. doing what I do. And before anyone says, take more time, take more time. This is my time. This is how I do what I do. I come here and I talk about it, right? This is how I do what I do. And if it gets to be too much, people, then I go and I did what I did, right? I shoot a video saying, see you in a little bit. Then I go and I see a professional, right? Which is what you should all do. There's nothing wrong with seeing professionals as long as you trust them, right? You've got to find the ones that you trust. And if you find one that you trust, then you're in fantastic shape, right? And tell them everything that you need to tell them, and let the healing process begin. All right. I am Captain Tommy Scoville, the cat. I don't know where the cat is. She's off doing something, but hopefully you'll see her later. Hey, Tommy Bird, thank you so much. And to all of you who reached out and sent emails and texts and all that, I appreciate you. People, this is going to happen, man. We do some rugged stuff here. Want to see something funny, too? Do you remember these? Look at this. How about that? Do you remember these phones? These little round back? All right, so I'm trying to corner the market on them. I figure if I buy enough of these, eventually I want everybody to have the 8, because if your phone needs more than 8 gigabytes or megabytes or byte this, whatever, I think you're using too much. I want to see all of us going back to the original iPhones. It's a goal. I'm working on it. Let's see. I've got 3 already. We need 11,800, 11,700, and somewhere on the way. We're close. All right. I love you guys, and we'll see you on the next one. Thanks for always being there and for always being kind. And to those who dislike me, thanks for watching to the end. Just to be really honest, you know what, people? The ones who really hate me have kept me on the air because they don't ever miss a show and they don't ever miss to the end of it. You've gotta love them. God bless them. So I will see all of you on the next one. Thank you, Deviant Outcast. What a kind thing to say. And I will see you all. God bless. I'm Captain Tommy. Bye-bye.